Are you going to outlive your retirement income, or is your retirement income going to outlive you? Welcome to Couple Bull. My name is Michael Dunham. With me today is Patrick Fontana, founder of Fontana Financial Planning.
Cheers, Michael.
Cheers, Patrick. Thanks for joining me today.
So I'll say I don't like the word retirement. I like the word financial independence. And when people come to us, it's typically to find out, do I have enough? Can I do what I want to do? Which ultimately is needed. We need to build a plan to answer the question, are you on track? And when we do that and build the plan, it brings a lot of comfort when you're spending your money to enjoy and have that balance of doing fun things and taking the trips and paying for the things that come about and still reaching the goal when you're on target to be able to have independence and enjoy your life.
Yeah, one thing I'll add to that, I think the key word that you said there is peace of mind. I have found that when it comes to do I have enough, am I on track, that is the thing that people care about the most. They care about the fact that somebody is getting in the weeds and looking at their tax return, looking at their investments, looking at their estate plan, kind of making sure all the boxes are checked and all the needles have moved in their favor where at all possible. But at the end of the day, that question of do I have enough? Can I achieve those things that I want to achieve? And having the peace of mind of knowing that the answer is yes, ultimately, that is what it always comes down to.
I find that more often than not, people have excess stress because they don't know. And a lot of times there's good news when we build the plan and show, hey, what's actually coming from Social Security, from required distributions from their IRA, from the investments that they've built up. And there's things that they leave off and don't realize it's extremely valuable. When you put the whole plan together and you see how it comes out in the end, it brings a lot of confidence. I remember my dad showing me on the back of a napkin his retirement plan. This is years ago. And it was pretty simplistic, one pager, but he had it set up and it gave him a lot of confidence that he's on track for his goal.
So Patrick, one question I'll ask you, we've worked with a lot of families that are either retired or approaching retirement, or, you said retirement's a bad word. So maybe we'll say financial independence. What is the biggest mistake or mistakes that those people kind of approaching that point that you've seen them make?
It really goes two ways. We have less involvement with the folks that are the first way where they just refuse to live below their means and stack away the money. Then we really can't help them too much until they change their behavior, because behavior is the biggest determinant of success. But the reverse thing is to overdo the behavior and just save so much money, spend so little money that they overshoot the deal. And then they really need us to pound them on the chest to do the thing, give the gift, take the trip, upgrade to first class. And that's one of the reasons why people are so successful is they live below their means. They stack away the money, but when they miss out on opportunities, that's what really hurts. And I want to encourage them to not miss out on that. When they have a plan, they're more confident to do it.
Yeah. The other mistake I'll bring up that we see people make from time to time, and I'll say these are also a lot of the people that don't generally work with us, is focusing on the wrong things. And a lot of times that's paying attention to the specific investments. Like, I want to pick the stock that's going to outperform the stock market, and that's how I'm going to achieve my goals. It's not, I need to save an adequate amount of money to get there. It's I'm going to save less and hope that I can outperform in pursuit of those same goals. Or on the other side of that coin, people that, they get close to that age and they don't want to own good companies, right? They want to only own fixed income, or they don't ever want to see the value of their accounts go down, and they don't recognize the opportunity cost that can be associated with making that decision. So for us, what we really preach is 1, owning good companies, 2, rebalancing, and 3, having discipline around your investments and aligning that discipline with proper tax planning, proper estate planning, doing the smart things when down markets happen, as opposed to the emotional or the reactionary things. That's the other big mistake that a lot of people make is they get to this point in life and their net worth is higher than they've ever seen it. They're closer to needing to use the money than they ever have been before. And understandably, it can be a scary thing. It can be an emotional thing. But if you don't have a proper plan, you can make mistakes because of those factors. And that's where having a quality plan and understanding I'm going to be okay even when temporary market declines happen. And I know that the smart things are going to be the thing that allow me to achieve the success, not the emotional or the reactionary things.
Right. We find that the simpler the plan, the more happy people are. And by that, I mean, partially it's simplifying their balance sheet, not having lots of things to keep track of and have to deal with, and having the plan set up to be simple where, hey, they don't have to do a lot of stuff, which, to use a rental property example, my folks had rental properties. Well, they sold off all their rental properties and they simplified their balance sheet to where they don't have to deal with tenants and broken toilets and all those things. And they have good companies that pay them good dividends and they have money to spend, combined military retirement, social security, and other things. And it's like, oh, this is just the fun part and investing experience of rebalancing with discipline for all those years that they no longer worry about it. And that's the smart way to do it. Simplify, have a plan, and to close out our episode, rebalance with discipline. Cheers.
Cheers.